The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Breast Cancer Awareness 100 at Oxford Plains Speedway. Round 2 coming your way tonight in Season 4 for the Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series, and you're going to get to see all 100 laps unfold live here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Hi, I'm Sean Ambrose, and back alongside me in the booth tonight is Dawson Brock. In the director's chair tonight, we've got the doctor, Amjad Yaman, twisting and tweaking the dials for us, and our camera sets are always provided to us by the great elusive one, Dougie Beard. Now listen, folks, Christian Family Construction Services, complete excavation services for new homes and additions. You can give them a call. They're in Connecticut. Their number is 860-428-5995. I know we have a lot of people here in the Northeast who watch the broadcast, so remember, they're in Connecticut. Man, they can help you out with a bunch of different projects: land clearing, site preparation, stumping, cellar holes, because you always need a cellar in the a hole in the cellar. You never know when you might need that. Drainage systems, grading and gravel, septic system installations, pump systems, leach fields. Now they are licensed and insured in the state of Connecticut, so they are there to help you. Christian Family Construction Services. And last week we kicked off this fall season from Langley Speedway, and it didn't disappoint. Tim Shinoski would be our first big winner of the season, finding himself on the top of the podium. His brother Matt would complete the podium with a strong third place finish, and Mike Holloway gave a great showing, and Mike back for more tonight. He's already second fastest in practice, but he's back tonight and had a great showing, fought hard for his second place finish. One thing is certain, though: this field is going to be challenged by Oxford Plains Speedway. Dawson, you've been watching these drivers practice. What do you think we have in store for us tonight?
Located in the northeasternmost state of Maine, Oxford Plains is a very circular 3/8 mile. With its circular shape comes a lot of difficulty for the driver. It's easy to get into a repeatable groove, but mess up once and you'll lose a bunch of time. Let's take a closer look at Oxford.
Hello, I'm James Krahula in the Global Sim Racing Channel Modified. I'm going to take you for a lap around the Oxford Plains Speedway. This is a tricky little 3/8 mile speedway. Something that's going to be very interesting here is how the track drives. You never really are going straight here. You just turn a little bit less when you get onto the straightaways. You're also going to have that curve down there on the bottom, just looking to get the car upset as well. And look, we don't have outside retaining walls out here either, so even though that the wall won't be as much of a danger, you do not want to go flying over that embankment at a high rate of speed. Keeping the car low and trying to get a good run off of the corners and try and duck down below your competition will be key to try and making up positions here. But we might see a good chrome bumper, and those are your laps around the Oxford Plains Speedway.
James Krahula getting us around the track there in the GSRC SK Modified, and well, that was a quick one there around Oxford Plains Speedway. Speaking of quick ones, let's talk to John Hine, driver of the number 75 Budweiser SK Modified. John, good evening, sir. How are you?
Hi, Sean. How are you?
Excellent, buddy. Excellent. How's the track feel?
Much better than what it did in the late model race earlier tonight. The temperature has dropped a little bit, and there's a little more grip there. Not much, but a little.
Well, how'd you finish in that late model race?
I pulled off about 30 laps in. I had an issue with my brake pedals, so I thought I'd get them right before the big show here tonight.
Okay, so you got everything's good now.
Yes, everything's
okay.
Good.
All right. Well, I know Tim Shinoski won that late model race. Let's face it, Tim's kind of hot. He won this race last week there at Langley and Oxford Plains. He's got to try and win here tonight. Right now, you're third fastest on the board. How do you like your chances here at Oxford Plains?
I I like them a lot. I love this track. It kind of makes me nostalgia whenever we come here, because when I first got onto iRacing, this was a track you competed on a lot. So it's kind of like coming back and getting in touch with your roots, so to speak.
Okay, now one more thing I'm going to ask you about. That curb on the inside that kind of pops up off the track about 3 inches. You want any part of that?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so if you're going to give somebody a tip that's first driving here, stay away from that, right?
Yeah, being on the throttle and being on that curb, there's nothing good that's going to come of that.
All right, well, listen, keep it in the gray, my friend. Hopefully we get a chance to talk to you again before this night's over. We appreciate you coming in for a chat.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sean, and thank you guys for your broadcast and everything else. Every week is just an excellent broadcast with you guys.
We thank you, John, and that is John Hine, driver of the number 75 Budweiser SK Modified. He was really fast here in practice, just slipped to 4th. As John Holcomb, who is here, is our pole sitter tonight by nature of his 10th place finish last week. John got himself on the board in 3rd now, and not a bad place to be. But I'll tell you what, Dawson, why don't you take a look at the point standings with everybody real quick?
All right, so we've only had one race in the books so far, and Tim Szymanski was your winner. So currently he sits at the top with 14 points. And after him, 2nd place, Mike Holloway. 3rd, Matt Szymanski. 4th, Jeff Sharp. And 5th, Donnie Moore. Really early into the season here, so this will probably mix up next time we come back next week. So be looking at through that throughout the season.
Well, listen, with every new season comes new fans. Now, this is round 2 here in the Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series, and we'll give you a few details about what we do here. We do run the SK Modified, not the Tour Modified. You have a choice of 2 on the iRacing surface. In fact, you get 2 for the price of 1. But this is the SK Modified. A little bit shorter wheelbase, just a little bit less horsepower, but trust me, just as much grunt and fun as the Tour Modified. We've got 100 laps in store for you tonight. 100 laps every Saturday night here in the SK Modifieds. We will be inverting the grid from last week's top 10 finish. As I said just a little while ago, John Holcomb was the 10th place car last week. He will start on the pole. Tim Szymanski, your winner, will all be back to 10th or somewhere just shy of that based on who all makes it here tonight from last week. So, that being said, we got to know that there's no pit stops. You're not going to need it. There's plenty of fuel to get in 100 laps. You do get 1 free fast repair, so that would be the only reason you need to come into the pit. If you do come into the pit, you've got to make sure your tires are off, because there are no tire changes allowed in the Outlaw Modified Series. Okay, so Dawson, this a very, very quick track, only 3/8 of a mile. You can get around here in just under 15 seconds. You've been watching these guys. Brian Dean already got 55 laps of practice in. What do you see out there that really interests you about Old Oxford Plains?
Well, I think one of the things you brought up with John Hine was that curb. Now, I've seen a lot of drivers spinning out on that, but I saw a couple guys, I can't quite remember who it was, but they had their left tires underneath curbing, so I doubt that that's going to play too much tonight, because like John said, you touch it on the throttle and you're going to be going around for a spin. But maybe later in the race somebody wants to gamble. Maybe somebody knows how to manipulate that curbing to their own style. Now, the other thing we have is passing here. It's a pretty circular track, so typically you're going to want to stay to that inside, but if you come off of that turn and you smash that gas, you're going to slide up the track, and then that next turn you don't brake right, you'll get out of that groove that I was talking about earlier. So staying in that groove, you're going to be hard to pass all night. We'll see some fenders probably being used.
And one thing about this track that's always caught me out, to be really honest with you, is coming out of turn 4 and across what you call a very short front stretch, is how the track falls off to the right. You get up on the crest there, and say you're going 3 wide right there, and you happen to be that guy on the outside, you stand a real serious chance of kind of sliding off the hill, out of the line, down off to the side of the track there. And, because this place doesn't really have any traditional walls off the exits and through the turns, you can keep going for quite a while there, can't you?
Yeah, there's plenty of room, but like you said, that off camber, it makes it really hard to get back on the other side of it. So it's kind of an interesting place. There's no walls. You don't really have to be too worried about them. They're pretty far away. You can put 4 or 5 guys around here. It's a big track, but if you want to be fast, you're going to want to stay to that inside and make people try and get around you on the outside.
Now, a lot of laps being thrown down here in practice. Got to tell you, it's clear daytime conditions out here. 70 degrees outside, 79 degrees on track. I think that's a pretty good condition for some hard, fast racing. Really not a lot of wind to be concerned with. One of the things about this track that gets me is, you said it's a very circular track. Well, yeah, it is, and that means you're really cranking the wheel left a lot, okay, and almost to the point where you're never really straightening the wheel out. And everybody's driver style varies just a bit, but you really don't get too many opportunities to get straight up and down with that wheel.
Yeah, no, I just remember you kind of set it and you use the gas kind of to turn your car. If you're not turning enough, you let off the gas a little bit. You want a little more, you want the car to swing out a little bit more, you get back in the gas. So it's a lot more about that throttle control and a lot less about moving your steering wheel.
Yeah, and you can see Loomis. We're on board with David Loomis right here. You can see the position of the wheel and where his hands are at. That right hand spends most of its time at about 1 o'clock. And like you said, not too much input, but just enough to keep the car turning.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still, I don't know if we'll see it tonight, but if that low side gets rubbered in and gets really warm, you might see guys start going to that second lane right on the right side of that. And I think maybe at that point you might see that steering wheel going close to straight. I know without having to turn the car as much, but yeah, I don't know. I think that lane might come in later in the race. I think that'll be another thing to watch.
Well, I'll tell you what, not much practice left right now. Matt Hoos comes back here after missing a little bit of time and missing that opener last week. Matt's back, and I'll tell you what, didn't take him long to get up to speed. He does have the best time right now, 14:5.94. Listen, I'll let you put the math to how quickly it'll take to run 100 laps. If you do this without a caution, listen, I got to be honest with you, it doesn't take long at all. They go by really quick. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important for guys stuck at the back who can't seem to make any moves. Listen, those cars up front are going to catch you quick here. It doesn't take long to cover this. I keep banging at home, don't I? You're really going to have to watch out for that. Traffic could be a factor tonight. Right now, we've only got 12 cars. I think that's probably where we're going to grid up at. But, Matt Hoos, the likes of Matt Hoos, John Holcomb is going to start on the pole. They'll be coming up through the field real quick. These guys stuck at the back are going to have the work cut out for them. So they're going to have to get to the hammer pretty quick.
Yeah, and you mentioned the grid invert earlier. John Holcomb, he'll be your pole sitter, so he'll have wide open track to work with, and he's third in practice so far. So if he can keep up that pace, he might be able to run away with this and get to the point where guys who are starting in the back, like Shinaski, might not be able to catch him, especially if it stays green.
Yeah, I don't have the stats in front of me, but it's been a while since John picked up a win. We'll see what he's got in store for us tonight. Now, listen, don't count that Mike Holloway guy out either, okay? Holloway is certainly capable of victory himself. We'll see where he gets to this evening. Real quickly, I talked about those races earlier this evening. You know, they have those every Saturday night. We had the Street Stock Series, and that's open to all Class D drivers and above. That was won this evening by Donnie Moore. Found victory lane again. Donnie Moore wins in the Street Stock, the limited late models. Ran at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and Tim Shinoski won that race. And then, of course, we cap everything off with the Outlaw Modified Series. It's just about time to go racing here. They're going to get ready to wrap up qualifying here in about 20 seconds. Who do you like tonight?
Well, I think we mentioned our pole sitter, John Holcomb. I think that pace and that starting position might be huge. If he can keep it consistent throughout the race, I think he's going to be the man to beat.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't generally pick one here in the SK Modifieds, but boy, if I was a betting man tonight, I might put my money on Mike Holloway. Just got a feeling he's probably going to hate that. Oh yes, this is the fun. This is the fun part where everybody gets to jump the hills there. Probably see that. We'll probably catch one or two of those there at the end. Hopefully not during the race. But let's get this grid in here and take a look where everybody's starting now. And Dawson, we'll take them 5 at a time here. We got John Holcomb starting first tonight. David Loomis in second. John Hine and that Budweiser SK Modified will start third. Donnie Moore in fourth. And Matt Shinosky starts fifth.
Outside of him is going to be Mike Holloway starting in the 6th position. Then Matt's brother, Tim Shinosky, going to be starting just behind Matt. Brian Dean, Lowell Jewell, and Ryan Detzler to round out the top 10.
All right, and 11 and 12th are going to be Matt Hoos and Dustin Powers. If Matt wants to be a winner again in the Outlaw Modified Series, he is going to have to do it from 11th place. We've got 100 laps, a lot of track in front of us. We're going to cycle around here and get everybody warmed up and ready to go here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. We are live. Welcome aboard. Sitting here with Dawson Never Say Die Brock. Old nickname our friend Soup hung on him here some time ago and kind of stuck. Never asked you if you like. I never asked you if you liked that one though, Dawson.
I liked it. Soup gave it to me. I have to like it. It's pretty cool.
You have no choice. 9 degrees of banking at this track, about 3 degrees more than we had last week at Langley. Should prove to be a little faster because of that.
Yeah, I know we talked about if it would go green the entire way. I did the math quick. It'd be about 25 minutes.
Here we go. John Holcomb going to lead him off. That pace car's in. John is on it. Oh, look at Loomis go right with him. Gets a nice start. But Holcomb's going to get away there into turn 1 all by himself. Gets out there. Everybody else side by side. John Hine gets a great run out of the turn there. Wow, look at him go. And it's going to bring right along with him there. That's Matt Shinosky with a nice break there. Oh,
Loomis
spinning. Boy, I think that started with, did it start with Loomis? Oh, he got a little bit of help. I think Tim Shinosky makes a little bit of contact with him here. You're going to see Shinosky on the inside there, the 91, the green and blue car in the middle, and I think they just made a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. The great news about this story is I think everybody got through that pretty unscathed there, Dawson.
Yeah, plenty of cars were stacked up all behind him 3x3, and as we can see as we ride on with Tim, everybody was trying to fight to get to that low side. That low side was where you wanted to be, and Loomis just trying to get down wasn't clear.
Yeah, and he took a pit. Actually took the toe in, so he's sure to lose a lap because of that.
I wonder if maybe he had a wheel out of line or something.
Yeah, that's possible. But well, let's go through it real quick because we had some big movers. Just 4 laps into that race. John Holcomb, your leader. John Hine in second. Matt Shinosky third. Tim up 3 spots to get right behind him there in fourth. Lowell Jewell already up from 9th. Finds himself in 5th. Donnie Moore and Mike Holloway lost a little bit of ground there on the start of this race. They're going to have some work to do to get back towards the front when we get restarted.
Yeah, Matt Hoos, we saw he was starting outside of the top 10. He'll be in 8th, so he was your fastest guy in practice. We'll have to see how far he can get up. Dustin Powers, Ryan Detzler, Brian Dean, and then David Loomis now 2 laps down. That's not a good sign for him.
All right, as we get them lined back up here, everybody going side by side. Lights are out on the pace car. John Holcomb going to start here from the inside. John Hine this time going to have to start up top, and then look who's just behind them. That's a couple of brothers there just hanging out in their SK Modifieds, the double auto. Matt Shinosky and Tim in the 07. Here we go. Green flag is away, and so is John Holcomb, but man, Hine gets a great start up there on the top. But man, there's just no speed up there yet. doesn't really seem to carry any momentum off that top side. John Holcomb there, Matt Shinosky there down below with a good run in his Hardee's SK. Yeah, he's holding on to it. Hine having to really work up top there. Now it looks like Matt Shinosky finally clears Hine, and now Hine's got to deal with Tim Shinosky. Our leader, John Holcomb, got away just a bit, about a half second. Let's see if Matt can make a run at him. He's starting to pull away from Tim. Tim finally clears John Hine. Hine losing many spots now there on the top side. He's going to have to get down there if he can. Mike Holloway gets by Dawson.
Yeah, John should be able to get in and just slips in front of Dustin Powers. Now as we go farther back, Donnie Moore, we've seen him. He's had a lot of success over the years in the Bootleg Racing League. He is also stuck up on that high side, and he will slot in right behind Brian Dean.
Boy, and Dustin Powers really seems to be struggling with his SK Modified right now. Dustin really loose and fighting to hang on to that DeWalt machine. He's got one of the best right there on his bumper, Brian Dean. He certainly knows he's there. That's all he can see in his mirror. Look at that run Dean just got at him. Powers sliding all over the place. Now he's getting a little wide. Dean going to make another attack. Can't pull it off. Gets the door closed right in his face. Nothing's changed up front. That was a good battle, but it looks like for now Dustin's got control of it. Oh, Holloway
Here we go.
up here. Yeah, there's a bit of a fight here. Holloway got himself on the inside there, the number 5, a Lowell Jewell. Lowell working himself up through the field, but now he's in a tussle here with Holloway. Holloway doing a good job. Oh, he makes contact, and now Holloway's around to the inside. That does not bring out a caution as long as he stays down there. Holloway trying to get it turned around. We got a quick replay here. Oh, Holloway's going to lose a lot of time. You'll see what happens here. Holloway in that 31 gets down there on the inside. The quick lane SK makes that contact, that Nerf bar contact with Jewell, and it just gets him out of shape. He's going to lose a complete lap there. Boy, he really struggled to get it back on track. Did it right in front of David Loomis. Still really struggling with it. It's John Holcomb, though, still in the lead up front, being hunted down by Matt and Tim Shinosky. That's really all he's got to worry about right now. They have pulled away from Lowell Jewell, who holds on to a strong 4th place right now. Started in 9th.
We got Dustin Powers making a move on John Hine now. He's going to get it done. It looked like John just washed up the track a little bit, left some room for Dustin to get in. Man,
yeah,
John's
boy.
He's been in this position. He's been in this position a couple times now, just stuck on that high side. I tell you what, this is kind of how Oxford is working right now, early in the race. Everybody wants to be on that low side. You get stuck up there on that high side, and there's no room to get back underneath.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you what, John's dedication might pay off for him. He can stay up there and keep running that groove, man. A little bit of rubber up there. Yeah, see, he slides a little bit there on the exit, and that really cost him. It's a shame. I just don't know if there's going to be enough time to get the rubber there on the top of the track to pull off the kind of moves he'd like to. Oh, just up in front of them. Powers makes contact with Lowell Jewell. Saves the car, but it stacks up everybody behind. The accordion is out, Dawson.
Yeah, it looks like Dustin's just having a little bit of problems getting the power down, but it's just he's not as quick out of them corners right now. You can just see right behind him Brian Dean closing that gap pretty quick.
Boy, what a battle. Got a bit of a trolley train going on back here. Boy. Just really no one, they've seen what happened to Hine, and I don't think anybody's willing to step out and try and make a move from the outside. Brian Dean just keeps putting all kinds of pressure on Dustin Powers. There's a couple of newcomers to the league, and they're really slugging it out there right behind the boss. Old Jewell having a good solid run here, 4th place.
Yeah, and it's kind of it's another thing. It's just Oxford. You get stuck on that low groove. Nobody wants to go high. You have to go under him. They all saw John Hine. He was stuck up on that high side, and he got shot all the way back to the back of the field. They all want to go to the low side here. As you see, Brian Dean trying to make a move on Dustin Powers, gets him loose.
Yeah, and then we're boy, ooh, that was heavy modified damage there. Was that Matt Hoos that caught that? Let's go on board Dean and see what happened. I think Hoos T-boned one of them. Here's Dean, and Power started to slide there, Dustin.
Yeah, I think he was just a little bit loose.
Let's go over John Hine. Yeah, no, Dustin started to slide. He started to slide up there, and boy, John just, that was tough, man. He just got by that. I don't think he picked up any damage.
No, I think he went through that clean.
Yeah, no, he did make it through clean. Okay.
Nice.
Now, I know somebody picked up damage in that. I'm trying to see who that was.
Oh.
It was, you know what? I think it was Mike Holloway. I see a little bend in the front Nerf bar, but it looks like for the most part the car is okay. So that's good. Yeah, let's go on. You know what? Let's a moment. Let's go on board with Holloway here and see his view.
Whoever it was, I believe they got into the back of Donnie Moore, or when everybody checked up.
Well, okay, here we go. Just up in front of him here. Everything breaks loose. And... No, he didn't catch that. Okay, all right. My bad. We'll go back live. All right. John Holcomb's going to get to restart the race as our leader. He hasn't given that up since we got started. 32 laps to go. See, we're already 32 laps gone in this race. We just started. What did we start? Like 30 seconds ago, Dawson?
It didn't feel too long ago.
But both of the Shinosky boys have found themselves now in those podium spots, second and third. But boy, looking to make a Holcomb sandwich out here. Yeah, I stole that from one of our viewers in the YouTube chat. But no, really, I'm looking for an exciting start here. We'll see. They are lined up, ready to go. The lights are out on the pace car. Holcomb's got to stay true to that line. He's been running on the bottom. Not let Matt Shinosky take advantage of him here on this restart. And he's got to hope that he doesn't get any, if you know what I mean, help from behind by Tim. Let's go. John Holcomb's at it. Boy, and he didn't waste any time. Holcomb really snaps to the green there. Gets away clean. He didn't want any of that fight. Matt Shinosky fighting up top to just stay alive in this thing. And Lowell gets turned around. Can he straighten the car out? He does. What a job by Lowell. Joel. Oh, and then Lowell made contact. Oh, Lowell and Donnie Moore get together on that restart. Unfortunately, it kind of all really started with the contact Lowell made with Brian Dean. Dawson, what'd you see here on the replay?
And he had saved and then just not enough room. It was a great save, and I thought he was going to stick with it, but just so happened, all for naught.
Yeah, and Lowell straightens the car out right here, and then he makes that unfortunate contact with Donnie Moore, and, well, you see there just across the track, Donnie really finds himself on his lid, which means he had to take a toe in, and based on what happened to David Loomis early, we know that's a long toe in. Donnie probably sure to lose a lap or two here. It's a shame. He was having a decent run. Gonna have a wave by here. David Loomis is gonna get that.
John Holcomb, I think he would have been pretty pleased with that caution there. He got off to a pretty decent start, but Tim Shinosky got an even better one. He was right behind him there when that caution came out, so it might have saved him.
Just a bit of an observation on that last one. On the caution, it does look like that might have maybe been a little bit of net code between Dean and Jewel there on track. Certainly can happen when you're in close quarters like this and running really, really hot speed. So, anything's possible here in iRacing. Not always someone's mistake or intent for these things to happen, but it did. We're going to move on past it. We'll get this race restarted, and who knows, maybe we're about to rip off another 20, 30 lap run. The next flag we might see could be the checkers, so we'll see. But sure enough, the lights will come out on the pace car here when we go across the start-finish line. So far, so good for our front runners, Dawson.
Yeah, John Holcomb, Tim Shinosky, Matt Shinosky, and Brian Dean, they've kind of been in their own little train so far, and I think if we see another start like last time, we'll see Matt Shinosky pass Tim, because Tim will be starting on that high side along with Brian Dean.
All right, well, here we go. One more time around here as everybody starts to bunch things up. Let's get them set. Let's get them ready. John Holcomb, your leader. Tim Shinosky going to start on the outside. Matt Shinosky will start in third. Brian Dean, the number 23, starting there in fourth. You have Matt Hoos, Mike Holloway in row 3. And there goes the pace car. And here comes John Holcomb. Not as quick a start that time. Tim Shinosky slips in behind him real quick there. Matt Shinosky going to come right along, get away from Brian Dean, kind of get away from Hoos a little bit. Hoos not getting a bit of a run. He'll take fourth place. Dean in that precarious spot up top with John Hine. Now Dean drops it in, and so does John Hine. John Hine in sixth. Who is that caught up top? That's Ryan Detzler caught up top back there. Detzler in the number 2. Holcomb allowed to get off another good start, Dawson. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it there on that restart, but Tim was the one who started up high. Matt left him quite a bit of room to go and get underneath so he could stick with Holcomb. I think that might have been a little bit of a communication thing, trying to work together to get to John.
Those two work together? No. Well, I will tell you, John, right now in that Lawrence Towing SK Modified, having a solid run to get things started here. Lap 45 underway. And it's been a little bit since we've seen John in victory lane. Tonight, boy, early here in season 4 would be pretty awesome. Boy, but the Shinosky brothers are tough. Matt Hoos struggling to find Tim Shinosky's wicker there and that bumper. Matt got his own set of troubles to worry about there because he is being chased by Matt Hoos. That's the Matt and Matt show. Let confusion ensue here, Dawson.
Yeah, I don't know here. We're going to see, you got a little bit of a train starting now behind Shinosky, and now we see a move. Brian Dean going to go to the inside of Hoos, and Hoos gets sideways.
Yeah. Oh. Dean kind of stuck it in there, and he's going to... Yeah.
He saw it, it was about a half car gap, but when you're a race car driver and you see that little bit, you think, I can stick it in there. Hoos now just trying to get it back around.
Yeah. He did. He punched it up in there, and it was aggressive, but man, the door was left a little bit open there by Matt Hoos.
Yeah, it's both parties are kind of to blame here. I mean, he did leave the door too open. You have to expect if you're up that far, you got to expect it's coming. And yeah. Well,
I'm sure neither party is happy about it. Dean not happy that that contact was made, and well, let's face it, Matt probably not happy that he was on the receiving end of the contact. So, all right, we'll get back to it. We'll let him race on. Nothing really lost for Matt Hoos at this point. He's already come from the back of the field to get up racing for that position up there. So he'll be back. There's still plenty of time to get it done. We just passed the halfway point of this race. We've had a few caution flags, but nothing really serious. I think right now we've only got one car behind the wall. It's Dustin Powers. The number 25 is, he's parked it. Been in there for a little over 8 minutes now. I don't know that he'll come back out. But we've got 11 cars on track that do matter. And right now, John Holcomb at the top of the field. Tim Shinosky now up to second. Matt Shinosky back to third. Brian Dean still in 4th. John Hine back to 5th. Mike Holloway sitting in 6th currently. Lowell Jewell back to 7th. Ryan Detzler in 8th. Matt Hoos there in 9th. Donnie Moore going to be a couple laps down now. He's in 10th. David Loomis going to be 3 laps down in 11th.
Now, I know last restart, I saw that Tim and Matt, they kind of let Tim in, so we'll see if that happens this restart as well. We'll just see Matt will sit back a little bit. I don't know, we'll see.
Well, here we go. The iRacing Ford Mustang pace car about to do its job, getting off the track. John Holcomb going to be really slow on the start there. Really stacks them up behind, but he's able to get the break once again. Tim Shinosky left to fall right in line. Here comes Matt. Dean caught up on the outside. John Hine just below him. Hine's going to clear Dean and get himself into 4th.
Now we got Holloway on the inside of Dean. John Hine looking in his mirror. He's been in Brian's spot earlier in this race, but now Lowell Jewell going to try and get past Dean. Dean's got a good run. Lowell just not quite able to get there.
That's all right. Lowell's got to just be a little bit patient. He'll get it.
And
Good
Dean,
restart here. Everybody got back to racing here pretty quick.
And that was a really good showing for that high side there by Brian Dean. I wonder if that low side is starting to get heated up on the track with iRacing's dynamic track.
Oh, I think you bring up a very, very good point. I'm not giving up on that top side and somebody being able to make a move from up there. It could happen. We've seen it at this track before, so I think we might have just the right conditions for that to happen. We'll see. Mike Holloway really pounding on John Hine right now, kind of pressing the issue here a bit. Holloway going to have to look over his shoulder just a bit though, because Brian Dean is right there behind him. Yeah, John Hine. You see the door cracking open there, don't you, Dawson?
Yeah, and I know as the driver, see now he just tries to go a little bit lower, gets part of that curb. Holloway gonna get a nice run down the straightaway and gets underneath Hine. Hine's stuck on that high side again tonight.
You heard what I asked that man. You heard what I asked him about that curve. And now I feel horrible. I feel like it's my fault. I jinxed the poor guy. He's had it in his head. It's been bothering him since the race started. Oh, look at this. Holloway able to get away. Hines still stuck up there. And now it's Dean moving to the inside. Dean almost made nerve bar contact with him there. Oh, Hine really struggling. Here comes Matt Hoos. Ooh, Hoos catches that bump. Oh, wow. Hine in a really, really bad spot here.
This car just doesn't like that high side. It's just not working for him, and he's stuck up there too. There's no gaps to fall in. Maybe he'll be able to get in behind Hoos. Yeah, ooh, maybe not.
He heard footsteps from the boss there. Oh, and he's spinning. He's spinning.
Just saves it.
Man. John, you're making us nervous, buddy.
He's had an interesting race so far, all the race.
He really has. He's been in just about every position on this track. Well, John Holcomb still in command of this race. We've got about 34 laps to go. And it's been a good ride for John today. But Tim Shinosky still a threat. 0.4 of a second separate the two. Brother Matt just back there, kind of sitting in it we call the popcorn position, just kind of watching, waiting. Maybe opportunity will present itself for him. Looks like Mike Holloway maybe starting to drive a little bit better, getting a little bit faster. Brian Dean in his mirror, so he's got to be aware of that. And Dean throws it down in there. Wow. Dean is spinning. Boy, that cost Dean big time, and now he's around. Dean is around, and the yellow flag is out. And Dean got over that concrete, and then Matt Hoos is going to collect his left rear there. Watch this there. He's trying to send it in there. Car gets loose, gets over the curb. It upsets the car again. Back around, and Matt Hoos clips him. It's going to be the only one that does. Let's go on board Hoos. Obviously, Dawson Hoos has got nowhere to go here.
Yeah, he was just worried about getting through there, and you're kind of set. If he brakes hard, he's probably going to end up wiping out too, so really no choice.
Wow.
Now Dean's going to bring it in for a quick repair.
Yep, gets that quick repair in and already making his way back out on the field. Back out on the field, back out on the track. Boy, did I think I was calling a football game there for a minute.
But I tell you what, Donnie Moore, he just needs one more caution and he'll be back on the lead lap. So this is all good news for Donnie.
I almost went into my Jack Buck on everybody. Dean off the bench, back in the game. Anyway, all right. So here we go. Boy, left with just not many laps here. 28 as we go by here. I think we'll get started with about 27 left to go. I think the lights should go out here. John Holcomb having a great drive tonight. So are those Shinosky brothers. They have really put on quite a show there in the mid pack, and now up here in those podium spots. You know, I still like this thought about Mike Holloway finding his way to the top here before this is all said and done with. This could be the restart he's been waiting for to maybe get a move. He's going to start fourth on the outside, but man, if he can work his way down there to the bottom real quick, man, anything is possible. Nobody is perfect, and if that door gets left open, as we've seen already tonight, that's to be taken advantage of. It looks like it's fair game, so we'll see here. It's time to line them up, get them going here again. The Breast Cancer Awareness 100. You know, we haven't even really talked about that near enough. We'll get back to that here in just a moment, but here we go. The Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to peel off now as they come along the backside of the track into turn 3. Holcomb primed to win one. Can he do it? The green is out, and man, he was real slow getting to the throttle there. Stacks him up yet again. Tim Shinosky still hasn't dropped down. Now he does. Matt Shinosky down on the bottom and made it very, very tough for Holloway. I think that was all about maybe trying to slow Holloway down more than it was anything. And now Holloway going to have to settle into fourth. Was not able to make up any ground there on that restart. Holcomb, again, off to a solid start, but the car slid just a little bit. Makes a small mistake, and that brings Tim Shinosky right to the bumper.
Yeah, if you're John in this
John Hine spinning. John Hine is around, and the yellow flag is out. Sorry about that, Dawson.
No, that's fine.
Let's look at this GSRC replay here. There's John Hine in the 75 up top. Oh, man, I think that started with Brian Dean catching his wheels down on the other side of that bump. Let's go on board Dean here and see what happens. There's Hine in the 75. Dean gets... Oh, yeah, there's contact there. Boy, another tough one there for Dean. Well, Dawson, there's another one. That's now going to get us into that 20 lap to go range. I didn't mention it. I started to mention it there on that coming to that last green flag. The Breast Cancer Awareness 100 tonight. Do us a favor. Go to nationalbreastcancer.org. You can do it now. You can go on after the race, preferably after the race, but go on over there. Donate, give if you can. Okay. Breast cancer awareness so very, very important. We lose way too many people every year to cancer, especially breast cancer. And do anything you can to help. I myself have been affected greatly over the past year and a half or two by losing friends to different forms of cancer. But breast cancer, certainly one of the big killers out there. And we should, every one of us, to a man and woman, should do what we can to support that cause. www.nationalbreastcancer.org. Okay? And Dawson, Still have a little bit of racing left on tap here for the race fans. John Holcomb has been in control this whole race.
Yeah, and I think he's starting in that first position yet again. As long as he can keep his car, I think he should have plenty of tires. He hasn't really had to race anybody. So as long as he can keep it on that low side, he's got a really easy chance at getting to victory lane tonight. Now, if you're the two Shinosky brothers, your job's a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to, once you see even a little bit of a gap, you got 20 laps, less than 20 laps to go here. You're going to have to take your opportunities when you get it.
It really is the tale of two Shinoskis. Yes, I did that. Okay, so here we go getting even our director cringed at that one. Interesting note from our director. Donnie Moore is back on the lead lap. The pace car is off. John Holcomb gonna go. It's time to boogie, baby. Let's do this. John Holcomb off to a good start. Tim Shinosky gonna have to settle for second. Here comes Matt in third.
Farther back, Matt Hoos, he's been having a little bit of difficulty with his car. I wonder if he may have used up his stuff a little too early.
Boy, Holcomb really getting away from him. Back there, Matt Shinosky just closed the door on a run that Michael Holloway was trying to have at him. Holloway had to check up a little bit, almost lost the car, did a great job of hanging onto it. He's got Matt Hoos in his mirror. He does not want to let Matt get around. 15 laps to go here.
Oh, we got John Hine. He's spun out on the inside. Now he's back up to speed.
Yeah, he's going again. Do you have a quick replay of it? Did you see the? Oh, it looks like he maybe got a little help getting up to the outside there. Boy, he got fortunate. Didn't go over that berm.
Yeah. Tell you what, John Holcomb, he's got enough of a lead right now, and it doesn't look like Shinosky's too much quicker than him.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at some history. Bootleg's been around for a while, but I believe, in fact, I know Holcomb has won here before. He knows the secret to Oxford Plains, and trust me, this is a difficult one to dial in, man. Holcomb has had the wheel since the green flag dropped, and he's got a stranglehold on it. Tim Shinosky, I wish you a lot of luck, buddy, getting away from him. You've only got 11 laps left here to do it when we come across the stripe. Although, you know what? I remember there is no stripe here.
Oh.
Yeah, no stripe here at Oxford Plains. Best guess. Best guess for the win. Well, a great race we've seen so far. Tim Shinosky is trying to get a run here at John Holcomb, trying to pick him apart, trying to find a way to crack the armor of that Lawrence Towing SK Modified. It has been strong tonight. He has controlled every restart. Been pretty flawless for him.
And a big part to that success has been his ability to mix up how he starts. We've seen he's gotten on the gas early. He's gotten on the gas right when that green flag came out. He's mixed up so that both of the Shinoskis, they can't tell when it's coming, and that's a big part to his win so far today. If it sits, I don't want to start knocking
right.
out.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
He didn't say that, John. He didn't say. He's a rookie, man. Take it easy on him, John. John's gonna go back and watch this broadcast and just go, "What? He said what?" No, but seriously, man. Listen, hey, John can be his own worst enemy sometimes. Right now, he's been awful good tonight. He's been a good partner to himself this evening. Holloway back here digging for a podium spot, man. He has made about 3 or 4 runs at Matt Shinosky. Nothing doing. Every time he does, he's wound up with him jamming on the brakes, trying not to wreck Matt, trying to have a good, respectable, hard race with him, and just yielding nothing for him right now. He hasn't even put the chrome horn to him once. Not once. He's been close so many times and has yet to do that. Had plenty of chances to try and move him, but he's not been that aggressive. Matt Hoos being patient himself right now back there, Dawson.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good. It's just that's how these guys race here, and it adds to it. You don't like seeing guys who will just go in there and just use the horn whenever. I mean, yeah, it's near the end of the race here, but he's still not using it.
Holcomb coming around now for the white flag. Tim Shinowski going to take one last look at him. Can he get to the inside? No, boy, I think he lost it there. We'll see. Holcomb down the back stretch of this track, now back to the left into 3, through the middle of the turn, coming off of 4, keeps it low, keeps it tight, goes across and wins the Breast Cancer Awareness 100 here at Oxford Plains Speedway. Matt Shinowski is going to finish Tim Shinowski in second and Matt Shinowski in third. What a race, man.
Yeah, that was really good. A couple of cautions here and there, but overall, really good racing from the Bootleg guys.
Well, it was a real barn burner tonight, but for right now, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be back here for the results and a few interviews here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Back here on the Global Sim Racing channel at Oxford Plains Speedway. You just saw the Breast Cancer Awareness 100 here with the Bootleg Racing League and Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series. Boy, Dawson, that was a fun one. Let's run down the results for the race fans here real quick. Your top 10 are as follows. I'll take the first 5. I'll let you have the second there. John Holcomb, your big winner tonight. Tim Shinowski with a second place finish. His brother Matt completing the podium, the third place finish. And in fourth, it's going to be Mike Holloway. You know, that's the second week in a row those two have been on the podium. Mike Holloway going to finish fourth. Fifth going to go to Matt Hoos, Dawson.
The boss man, Lowell Jewell, going to sit in 6th place. And Donnie Moore, we saw him get back to the lead lap. He moved his way all the way up to 7th. Ryan Detzler, John Hine in 8th and 9th. And to round out the top 10, David Loomis.
All right, 11th and 12th are going to be Brian Dean and Dustin Powers, respectively. Poor Dustin had big trouble early. Was fighting the car and not able to finish this race. I hate that for him, but Dustin, come on back. Let's get him next week, buddy. All right, let's talk to our winner. John Holcomb, driver of the Lawrence Towing SK Modified, the number 69. John, congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks.
Man, I didn't have a chance to pull the stats, but you've won here before, haven't you?
It's been so long since I've won, I can't remember where I won at it. Sad but true.
I just seem to remember you taking down a victory or two here sometime back in the past. Let's face it, victories have been hard to come by here over the past few seasons with JR. He whose name we will not speak. with J.R. Shepherd winning all these races. But I know you've seen Victory Lane plenty of times. It's got to feel great tonight here at a pretty tough track.
Yeah, it feels good to get back in here, and the car felt great tonight. Shinosky boys were all over me from the get-go, though, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to keep holding them off.
Yeah, what are we going to do with those guys this season?
We're going to try to keep them behind us. I'm just not sure how well that plan's going to work.
Well, when I saw you were, 10th last week, I just had a feeling that you get a chance to start on the pole. I really thought you had a good shot tonight, and you didn't prove me wrong. I didn't pick you, but I still thought you had a great chance to win this race from the pole. You do it. You led every single lap tonight, John. This is a pretty solid victory. Is this a sign of things to come?
Yeah, I think so. We did pretty decent last week, and we're starting to come around, trying to get a little bit more time in it, and it felt good out there tonight. The car was really there. I think we got lucky on some weather, so the grip was pretty good. It was just a matter of trying to keep the lead and stay out in front of them, but not burn up my tires, because it was a little burned up towards the end.
John, get your sponsor plugs in, buddy.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Lowell, of course, and BRL for what we do, and Breast Cancer Awareness Month for October. I've got family members that fight that issue, so it's an important issue. Please give if you can. I want to give a shout out to Bill, Pam, and Mindy, and thanks to GSRC for what you guys do.
John, thank you. We will see you next week, my friend. Great victory this week. Had a lot of fun calling it.
Take care, guys.
All right, Dawson, and that was John Holcomb. Boy, what a run for him tonight. Talk about a run. Let's talk to Tim Shinosky. Another big week for him.
Yep, Tim's sitting in 2nd place tonight. Not a bad showing. Obviously, you would rather be in 1st, but hey, 2nd place is not too bad either. How you feeling?
I feel real good after 2nd place. I've never really liked or really cared for Oxford Plains, so to finish 2nd almost feels like a win.
Well, yeah, it's a really weird track, we don't have walls to deal with. It's an odd shape. It's that circular shape, and we saw you and Matt were both Matt was giving you a little bit of room so you could get down to that bottom. That bottom side, though, you could tell it was starting to get slick. Were there any thoughts of maybe moving up to the high side?
Not for me, at least. There's really no... I don't see any way you're really going to be able to make a pass on the outside. There's just no grip, and bottom line is where you want to be. That's why I didn't, even though a couple times where I was kind of even with John on the restarts, I just want to get to the inside, because I knew if I stayed on the outside, I was just going to get caught out there and lose a lot of position. So my strategy was to stay on the bottom and hope for John to make a mistake, but he didn't do that. He drove a great race.
Now, obviously, you and Matt are related. Was there a plan in there where Matt was going to give you room on the starts, or did that just start happening?
Nah, I think, John did a good job on the restarts too. So, I don't know if it was more so Matt letting me in or me getting a good restart. But there was definitely no plan, because, but I'm happy I got the room. It helped.
All right, well, next week we'll hopefully catch up with you the same. So we'll see you later.
All right, thanks, Dawson.
All right, that was Tim Shinatsky, and now let's bring in the third place finisher, another Shinatsky.
Yes, another indeed. Another not like the other that we just spoke to, Matt Shinatsky, driver of the Double Aught there. Matt, right where you finished last week, are you going to be satisfied with third place finishes all season?
Well, if I finish third every week, I might have a good shot at the championship. I don't know.
You just might. You just might, brother.
I didn't think about that, but yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I won one, so I'd like to win one, but it's so competitive that third place most weeks feels like a win, you know?
Yeah, you had a pretty good fight there with Tim most of the night.
Yeah, I couldn't get him. I had nothing for either John or Tim. It was just for me, just trying to hold on to third is all I could do. Is try to hold off the guys behind me. That was all I had tonight.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Mike Holloway had every opportunity to just destroy you, man. And he, I don't think he touched you once, did he?
No, he didn't. And he's a great clean racer, a fast racer, but he's one of the cleanest guys out there. And it's guys like that you love racing against week in, week out.
It still makes you nervous, though, doesn't it? I mean, it's still pressure, isn't it? Even though you know that guy's not going to run through you, you still feel pressure to not give him that opportunity, right?
Oh, absolutely, because he's right there behind you. If I make a mistake, he's gonna accidentally hit me. So I have to be, on top of my game to make sure I'm driving very smooth and as fast as I can.
Yeah, and so you just said two things right there that I think are a common problem at Oxford Plains Speedway. Drive smoothly and drive as fast as you can. You spend so much time on top of the wheel here, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the track's very slippery, so you're just trying to stay on that curb, but it's tough.
Yeah, it was tough for several drivers in the field. It was nice to see you get through everything that was thrown at you and get another podium finish. Like you said there, this is not a bad strategy. If this is your strategy to winning this championship, it's not a bad one to have. Just make sure you finish third every week, okay?
That's right. Kill them with consistency.
Yeah, that's right, buddy. Hey, listen, thank you. We will see you next week, Matt. Great run tonight, bud.
All right. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Dawson.
All right. That was Matt Shinatsky Dawson. Boy, what a great night here at Oxford Plains Speedway.
Yeah, that was a great race. We saw John Holcomb able to hold him off. Great pace, just great driving all around by these guys.
Well, hey, listen, it's time to move on to the last portion of our show this evening. We want to thank that Christian Family Construction for sponsoring the series. Their company, Complete Excavation Services for new homes and additions. They are in the state of Connecticut, willing to help you. Call them at 860-428-5995. Plenty of people to thank, but we ask you not to forget about finding the Bootleg Racing League. Go to their website, bootlegracingleague.com. Memberships are open. They are still always looking for sponsors. If you go to their website, bootlegracingleague.com, put a / in and then type in sponsorship, you can find out everything you need to know about getting your name or your organization attached to one of these races here on the Global Sim Racing channel with the Outlaw Modified Series. Now, that being said, every Saturday night, these guys get together. Again, league memberships are open right now. The Street Stock Series runs at 7 Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock for the Limited Late Model Series, and, of course, the Outlaw Modifieds that you just saw here this evening. They get started at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This fall, for the winter, October 20th through March 23rd, bringing back the trucks. The Pro Truck Series will run on Friday nights at 7 Eastern Standard Time, and the Grand National Series is back. Now, it'll be an invitational only, but listen, you've still got time to at least get signed up, and who knows, if they like you, maybe they'll let you in. That's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Friday night. We want to thank the Bootleg Racing League and Christian Family Construction Service for allowing us to cover them. For more information about the Bootleg Racing League, again, remember, go find them at their website, bootlegracingleague.com, or look them up on Facebook. Just type in Bootleg Racing League, all one word. You should find them with no problem at all. We want to thank the companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen now and that we use on our broadcast every time. The original music you've heard on this broadcast is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them. For information about all GSRC events, go to globalsimracingchannel.com or go to our YouTube channel, and we have a nice archive of broadcasts there and upcoming broadcasts. You can also find us on Twitter at GSR Channel, and on Facebook, type in Global Sim Racing Channel, all one word there, and you'll find us too. Now, we also have upcoming races listed here on screen for other series that we cover. You want to check those out, mark them down on your calendar. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow. I think it's at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. You want to catch the CTC Lotus 79 Championship Series. I will be on that with filling in for Jake Sperry tomorrow. It's going to be Bill's Soup's On, so it's going to be a little soup and crackers tomorrow overseas for the Lotus 79. But next week, the Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series will head to the home of the SK Modified, Stafford Motor Speedway, for 100 laps of hard driving action. You can see that action starting at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. Now, for Dougie Beard, I'm Jed Yaman and Dawson Brock, I'm Sean Ambrose, turning the lights off and putting a lock on the gate. Race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.